Welcome back to Lindsall. Today I thought I'd take you guys along. I have to build a couple axe handles today. So today I'm going to make, I'll probably just do one today. I'm not going to have time to do two. But yeah, this is dried maple that I managed to find down in the bush. I don't usually like to use knots. See, there's a knot in this one. Another one there, but not much. I don't think it goes all the way through. So usually when I'm doing axe handles, I try to use the center of the wood because usually that means the grain is more tightly compacted so that it makes the handle stronger. Now this is just going to be a rough handle for a axe that I'm using to split wood and bush and whatever. This is not what would you call, I guess, a crafty axe handle where it's more for display or anything like that. This is actually a practical handle that I'm going to probably do it take me roughly an hour, hour and a half to do an axe handle. I might even be able to do it quicker. It all depends on how fussy I want to be. So I'll take you guys along and show you how I actually do it. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to run it on a jointer because we need a flat surface so that I can run it to the table saw down to about 1.25 inches in width. And then once I get to 1.25 inches in width, then I will run it through my thickness planer to bring it down to about, I think I usually keep my axe handles around 1.125 to 1 3/16 thick. So yeah, this is my jointer. It's going to be a little noisy, but this is... This is nice and straight on one edge now. Now what I'm actually going to do, because I see there's a few knots that are still kind of intruding on what I want. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to make it 1.5 inches on the table saw. Okay, so we got it cut. I actually made it a little thicker than what I would normally do it. Yeah, now this is 1.75 inches wide. The reason I did that is because I want to run it through my thickness planer a few times to get it down to make sure I pick. I need to run it through like on one side, then have a look, then flip it over, run it down the other side because I want to try to get these knots out. They're not too bad because I think my handle will actually fit right in between those. The reason I like this piece of wood is because it's at the angle that I need for my axe handle. So now I'm going to run it through my thickness planer. I don't think you guys are going to be able to see much or because it's going to be extremely loud. I just checked my video camera. The damn thing shut off. So I didn't get the video of building an axe handle. This one's all done. Yeah, it's finished, so I figured so because I didn't get that video, I'll do another one. I'll just do a real quick one. This is another piece of wood, but this handle is going to be a lot smaller than the other one. So I've already traced the handle out, so now I'll show you guys how I'm actually going to do it on my bandsaw. I'll cut the shape out. Yeah, I got it cut. It's just kind of roughly cut right now. After I cut it is I run it through my router on my router table to round off the edges a little bit. like the way the handle's fitting right now. Well, it feels pretty good in the hand. I'm gonna maybe calm that bend down a little bit. Yeah, maybe I can do all that with the sander. So right now, the next thing I got to do is to cut this, because I'm using this big old axe. My good axe I already put on a handle, so this is one of the old ones that I got kicking around. It's been kicking around forever. So yeah, I don't need to do much trimming on this one, just basically on the bottom part. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to just take a little bit there, a little bit there. I'm not sure how well you guys can see those pencil marks. I'm just going to cut it on the bandsaw. I can just shape it a little quicker this way. Now, I've been doing this type of stuff for, oh my God, all my life pretty much. And so hand tools are pretty comfortable in my hands. Or I'm pretty comfortable with hand tools in my hands. So. Now, one of the hardest parts about doing handles is that you got to make sure the hack's head itself lines up with the axe. Because the worst thing in the world is to have an axe that's in the handle that don't line up. See, right now this one's got a little bit of a twist. So right now I've got to take a little bit more off the right side at the back so I can get it to turn this way. The only reason this one's a little bit more difficult to do is because the head is all beat up. Like I said, it's an old axe. So yeah, I gotta take a little bit more off this side so that I can get that axe head to turn a little bit. Not too much. Just a bit. Now this is, I'm not sure if you guys can see that. I should move you back a little so you can see. This is what they call aiming a axe. This is how you get the handle to actually go onto the axe. It actually, it's going on there quite well. But it's got to go in quite a bit more yet, so I still have a bit of sanding, and I just got to make sure that the head is lining up with the handle, and it looks pretty good. I know, normally if I had a good axe, I wouldn't be pounding on the steel like this. I would just take a dowel and pound the wood off, but this axe is ancient. It's probably older than I am. It's all beat up and bent, so I don't exactly worry about it. Now I can spend, 4 or 5 hours making an axe handle. I'll make it pretty and make it look like a piece of heart. But that's not my goal here today. My goal here today is to get an axe handle, a working axe handle, done quick and with really little cost. Because like I showed in the video, it was just a log that I took out of my bush. Never cost me anything. And because I've been splitting so much wood, in the last 3 weeks, I broke off 2 handles. But that's because I hit it with a sledgehammer many times. The handle I broke off, I probably made about 10 years ago in one of them. But yeah, I just yeah, this one's sitting really well. Doesn't even want to come off. A little bit more sanding because I need to make sure that this part of the handle actually comes out flush with the other side or even sticks out a little bit. I can't have it sitting inside. Now, one of the main reasons you got to have your handle on your axe nice and smooth is so you don't get blisters when you're using it. Just kind of got to tap it in first, then we hang it. It's called hanging an axe. It's just so that you can put the head back in. See, when you first start pounding it in, it sounds a little hollow, but as it goes in and gets tighter and tighter and tighter, it actually, see, the sound changes. It changes to a more solid sound, which means that the wood and the metal in the axe is acting like one piece now. Sure is, because I'm going to trim this a little bit more. I think it's really snug, which is what you want, but I don't like when it flares out on the ends, because when it flares out like that, what it means is you're breaking the grain right there. So you don't want the grain to break, because it could cause it to break the axe handle a little easier. Okay, looks good there now. No grain flared up anymore. So now what I'm going to do is draw the line down there, and I can still see where the axe handle went in. I'll show you. That's how far the axe is going in, so I'm thinking it's going to go in maybe that much this time. So what I'm actually going to do is mark this about 3/4 of the way down, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut this on my bandsaw. The reason I cut that is so that when I put my wedge in, it flares these two sides out inside the axe, because the axe handle, or the axe head itself, is actually smaller on the hand that you put the axe in. And when you put the wedges in, it flares it out, and what it does is it stops the axe handle from popping off again. There we go. Split. Now it's not perfectly straight, but I don't really care. So what I need now is a shim, which I will cut out of this piece of block of wood. Actually, no, not big enough. we go, nice shim. Which should fit in the end of this quite nicely. Perfect, see? Now what I gotta make sure is it will fit inside the axe head. And it does, it fits absolutely perfect. I'm just gonna round off one of the edges a little bit, just to make sure it's not binding on anything. Okay. Now it's time to put the... I'm just kind of paranoid about this camera right at the moment because of what it did to me the last time. I mean, the last one took me an hour to make. This one's only going to take 15 minutes, maybe 20. So, where did I drop the axe head? There it is. See, because if you look at this edge, this is the side that goes towards the handle. Well, this opening here is actually smaller than it is on the other end. So it goes in this way, and you can tell because let me hang the axe so that you know. See, there you go. Hear that sound? That means it's in to where it belongs. See, completely different sound. See, it's tight on this end of the axe. I'm not sure how well you can see all of this, but it's really tight. There's no space at all. And if you look at the end, see, there is a space all the way around. So, what we'll do now, this is just something I do. Not everybody does it, but I do. I like doing it this way. I always put lots of glue in the end of my axe. So when I put the wedge in, I'm going to make sure I put the wedge the right way around. Sometimes these can get a little difficult to get in because what happens is when you pound the axe in, but it worked quite nicely. See, it's in there. Now I just got to pound it in. I'm just trying to take the big burrs off the back of the axe. One that I probably bought about 15 years ago. And this one is about, I have no idea how old this one is, but I bet you it's at least 35, 40 years old. It come out of the ground when I was digging out a stump. So I've been using it to bust out roots and everything like that, and the steel is still pretty strong for something that old and for something that's been outside that long. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. These are no work of art. I make these so that they actually do a function and I use them every day. They're strong. They're dried maple. It was an old dead maple tree that was dry, that was standing, that I cut down, took 2 chunks off of it, and made my axe handles. So these should last me the rest of this year. So yeah, I mean, you don't... A lot of people think that you got to spend hours and hours and spend so much time making your axe handle look pretty and, you know, perfect and this. No, it's not necessary. Not if you're using it as a tool on your farm. You should always try to use the right material. I mean, you don't want to use like pine or fir or spruce because you'll swing it about 10 times and it'll just snap off. Always try to use the center of a log to do your axe handle, like take some off each side. I make my axe handles about 1 1/8 inches wide and about 1 1/4 to 1.5 inches thick this way. So yeah, you can make them whatever length you want, whatever shape you like. These are just the way I like them. I like them with the ends on them because I do a lot of swinging really hard with the axes, and that way if it's got that little knob at the back, they don't slip off your hands when you're swinging them. So yeah. So yeah, I've probably built hundreds of axe handles over the years. I used to do them in high school for woodworking shop there. I did a lot of stuff there. A lot of things were still there 25, 30 years later that I built. I went back to my hometown about 20 years ago, and I met my shop teacher in a hardware store. He asked me what I was doing now, and I says, well, I'm running my own business, a construction company. I built homes. And he says, I knew that's what you were going to do for a living. I've always been just natural, I guess, at carpentry. So yeah, if you like the video, leave a comment. Hit that like button. It'll sure help the video out. And subscribe. And hit that bell notification so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. And thanks for watching.